Imagine a company wants to start using artificial intelligence, but the leaders are not engineers and don't know where to begin. They don't need to learn how to build the engine of AI, but they do need to understand how to drive it and make smart decisions about it. That is exactly what the Google Cloud Generative AI Leader Certification is about. This certification helps leaders understand what generative AI is, how companies use it, and how to make good strategic decisions with it. Think of this certification like a driver's license for AI leaders. When you learn to drive a car, you don't need to know how the engine is built, but you must understand how to control the vehicle safely and efficiently. In the same way, this exam tests whether you understand how AI works, how organizations can use it, and how leaders should think about AI projects. The certification is designed for people who make decisions in organizations, such as product managers, business leaders, technology managers, and strategy teams. These are the people who decide how AI should be used inside a company. The exam itself is about 90 minutes long and usually contains around 50 to 60 multiple-choice questions. Instead of asking simple definitions, most questions describe real-world business situations. For example, a company might want to build an AI assistant using internal documents, and you must choose the best solution from several options. So the exam is less about memorizing facts and more about thinking like a leader, making practical decisions. The syllabus is divided into 4 main domains, which together cover the entire knowledge needed for the exam. These domains are fundamentals of generative AI, Google Cloud's generative AI offerings, techniques to improve AI outputs, and business strategies for successful AI adoption. The first domain focuses on the fundamentals of generative AI and makes up about 30% of the exam. This section helps build basic AI literacy. It explains the difference between artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and generative AI. Artificial intelligence is the broad field, machine learning is a subset where machines learn from data, deep learning uses neural networks to recognize complex patterns, and generative AI is the type of AI that can create new content like text, images, videos, audio, and even computer code. At the center of generative AI are foundation models. You can think of foundation models as extremely powerful brains trained on massive libraries of data. Instead of learning just one task, these models learn general knowledge and can perform many different tasks. Examples include Google's Gemini, OpenAI's GPT models, and Anthropic's Claude. Another important idea in this domain is multimodal AI. Earlier AI systems could only process one type of information, such as text, but modern generative AI can understand and generate multiple types of content at the same time. It can read text, analyze images, generate videos, produce audio, and even write software code. This is similar to a highly skilled student who can write essays, draw diagrams, produce videos, and solve programming problems all at once. The fundamental section also covers how AI models are trained. The first stage is called pre-training, where the model learns general knowledge from enormous datasets. The second stage is fine-tuning, where the model is adjusted to perform specific tasks better. The final stage is inference, which is when the trained model generates answers or content for users. However, generative AI also has limitations. Sometimes it produces hallucinations, which means it generates answers that sound confident but are actually incorrect. It can also reflect biases present in the training data. Because of these risks, organizations must focus on responsible AI practices, including fairness, safety, privacy protection, and governance. The second domain covers Google Cloud's generative AI offerings and represents the largest portion of the exam, at about 35%. This domain focuses on the tools and platforms that Google provides for building and using AI systems. One of the most important components is Gemini, Google's family of generative AI models. Gemini can perform many tasks such as writing content, analyzing images, generating code, and answering questions. It is used both in consumer applications and enterprise products. Another critical platform is Vertex AI, which is Google Cloud's unified environment for building, deploying, and managing AI systems. If Gemini is like the brain of the AI system, then Vertex AI is like the entire factory that produces, manages, and operates AI applications. Companies use Vertex AI to train models, deploy them into production, monitor their performance, and ensure proper governance. Together, these tools form a complete ecosystem that allows businesses to design, build, and operate AI-powered solutions. The third domain focuses on techniques used to improve the output of generative AI models and accounts for about 20% of the exam. Even powerful models like Gemini need good instructions to produce useful results. This is where prompt engineering comes in. Prompt engineering is the practice of designing effective instructions for AI systems. For example, instead of asking a vague question like, explain marketing, a better prompt might say, explain digital marketing strategies for small businesses in simple language. Providing clearer instructions helps the model produce better responses. Another important idea in this domain is grounding, which connects AI responses to reliable data sources to reduce hallucinations. One of the most powerful grounding methods is retrieval augmented generation, commonly called RAG. In RAG, the system first retrieves relevant documents from a database, then adds that information to the prompt, and finally generates a response using that context. You can imagine this as an AI assistant that writes answers while simultaneously reading trusted reference materials. This greatly improves accuracy and reliability. The final domain focuses on business strategies for successfully implementing generative AI solutions and represents about 15% of the exam. This domain looks at how organizations plan and manage AI adoption. Leaders must think about questions like how large the AI system should be, how much customization is required, whether data privacy regulations apply, and what resources are available in terms of budget, people, and time. The exam also introduces the 5-layer AI stack, which includes applications at the top, followed by agents, platforms, models, and infrastructure at the bottom. Understanding this stack helps leaders see how different parts of an AI system fit together. Successful AI adoption also requires organizational change. Companies must create policies for ethical AI use, establish governance frameworks, train employees, and manage risks such as security and compliance. In other words, becoming an AI-first organization is not just about technology, but also about leadership and strategy. To prepare for the certification exam, it is best to focus on understanding concepts rather than memorizing definitions. Try to think like a decision maker evaluating different AI solutions. Ask yourself which tool is best for a particular business problem, how hallucinations can be reduced using techniques like RAG, and how AI systems can be implemented responsibly. The best preparation method is to follow the official Google Cloud Skills Boost learning path, complete all quizzes and practice exercises, and attempt several mock exams to become comfortable with scenario-based questions. By focusing on these concepts and practicing real-world decision-making, candidates can confidently prepare for the Google Cloud Generative AI Leader Certification and understand how generative AI can transform modern organizations.